In 1980, a simple maintenance accident nearly triggered a nuclear catastrophe. One dropped socket wrench almost erased Arkansas from the map. The site, a Titan II missile silo near Damascus, Arkansas. Buried underground was a W-53 warhead, one of the most powerful ever built. The missile stood over 100 feet tall and packed a 9-megaton punch, more than 600 times stronger than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. On September 18, 1980, a two-man Air Force crew entered the silo to perform routine maintenance. That's when the mistake happened. Airman David Powell accidentally dropped a socket from a ratchet wrench. It bounced, then fell 80 feet inside the silo shaft. The socket struck the missile's first-stage fuel tank, puncturing it. Suddenly, highly flammable fuel began leaking into the air. Inside the silo, toxic fuel fumes filled the space. Crews evacuated. The entire site was now a giant bomb waiting for ignition. The Titan II used hypergolic fuel, meaning it ignites on contact with oxidizer. One spark and the missile would explode. Emergency response teams scrambled. Technicians wore hazmat suits trying to assess the damage while avoiding lethal vapor exposure. Senior Airman David Livingston and Sergeant Jeff Kennedy volunteered to re-enter the silo. It was a desperate attempt to save the site. They descended into the silo. Moments later, a massive explosion ripped through the underground complex. Livingston was killed instantly. The explosion destroyed the missile. Debris shot from the silo like a volcanic eruption, launching the warhead into the air. The warhead landed nearby, intact but undetonated. It did not explode thanks to built-in safety mechanisms. America got lucky. Over 20 people were injured. Buildings miles away were shaken, but if that warhead had gone off, it would have obliterated everything for miles. Declassified documents later revealed that the damage could have been catastrophic. Central Arkansas could have been wiped off the map. At the time, officials told the public there was no danger, but behind the scenes, panic was very, very real. The term broken arrow is used for accidental nuclear incidents. This one came within inches of disaster, and few even knew it happened. The Titan II missile program had already been under scrutiny, but the Damascus accident exposed terrifying flaws in safety and oversight. Crews were under constant pressure, dealing with aging technology, deadly chemicals, and extreme secrecy. The cracks were showing. The program limped along for a few more years, but the accident helped accelerate the retirement of Titan II missiles by the late 1980s. Today, the silo is gone. The farmland above hides no trace of the night Arkansas almost vanished. Those who lived nearby didn't even know a nuclear warhead was housed under their feet until years later. The explosion at Damascus was not the result of war. It wasn't sabotage. It was a dropped tool, a moment of human error. It reminds us how fragile even our strongest systems can be. One slip, one oversight, one forgotten step, and everything can change. Despite the warhead surviving the blast, the what-ifs remain chilling. What if it had armed itself midair? What if it had detonated? This wasn't a movie. It wasn't a simulation. It was a real event, nearly lost to history, until the documents came to light. It's a story that makes you question how many other accidents were buried in silence, hidden under the label of classified. The airmen involved were not villains. They were brave, undertrained, and trapped in a flawed system that didn't account for mistakes. Livingston died a hero. Kennedy survived, but the trauma of that night stayed with him for life. Both were caught in a silent war. Damascus, Arkansas could have been ground zero for the worst accident in American history, but fate held its breath. Nuclear safety isn't just about weapons, it's about people, protocols, pressure, and the reality that perfection is impossible. In the end, the only thing that saved Arkansas was a series of mechanical fail-safes and a whole lot of luck. Next time you hear about nuclear deterrence, remember this: a 9-megaton warhead once flew through the sky because of a wrench. Want more true stories that were almost erased from history? Subscribe for chilling near misses and forgotten nuclear secrets.